Let's see, is this actually working? Looks like it is. Alright, so for a little bit here, we're going to look at making some updates to eShopOnWeb, which I have previously opened here. And my goal is to just add some PeanutCore 2.2 features to this that have been on my to-do list for a little while now. Great, that's a good way to start. It does work. Alright, so here's the page. And one of the things that we want to do, I think, is add some support for these parameter transforms for routing. This is a new feature in 2.2 that Scott Hanselman covers here. It's also covered in the docs at this point. But parameter transforms, one of the things you can do with them is both get the link for a particular resource, like a page, and also generate a resource for that page. So it's a two-way thing. In his example, Hanselman's got on this blog post, he's taking a link to fancypants.cshtml, which is a Razor page, and of course it just is going to default to /fancypants, but he wants to make it have a slug that looks more like a WordPress style thing with hyphens, right? So he's going to make it match A to Z, match A to Z, and then take the first match, dash the second match, and to lower it. So this is a fairly simple thing that he's doing here. It'll only work on something that's got two terms like this, but it will do what he's looking for. And he's going to end up adding this using this code in here, or in here if it's MVC, and just adding his Slugify parameter transformer, and then you can see his is working here when he comes into this Fancy Pants link. He's getting this Fancy Dash Pants URL for it now. Alright, so the goal for us today, or immediately, is basically to demonstrate routing parameter transforms in this sample application. So the sample application is this eShopOnWeb store. Let's see, that's not going to show me the chat. Where's the chat? I want to be able to see if you folks are asking questions. So where should I do that? On Twitch, of course. Alright, nobody's talking. Not yet. Alright, cool. And theoretically, that's supposed to show up in the stream too, right? Do messages appear in the... Yep, there they are. Cool. Don't even have to do that. Alright. And hopefully audio quality is okay. I had some feedback after my last stream that couple things. One was that my font sizes weren't quite big enough, especially once it went to YouTube. For whatever reason, YouTube's the automatic transfer of this content from Twitch to YouTube results in like really lousy low resolution. So we're gonna crank this up pretty high. And it doesn't help that I've shrunk the screen down a little bit. So this should make it easier to see what we're doing. Alright, so let's look at the catalog controller to start off, and let's look at the catalog. Let's see, is index a good spot? Let's look at index. No, there's nothing there. Alright, so it's going to be catalog is where the page root is. That's what I thought. Alright. So this loop generates each one of the catalog items that we display on this page. And so I think it would be interesting perhaps to create a link for these that is slugified or has a different URL. The challenge for that though I think might be that right now these products don't have their own page that I can think of. So let's do demo user password. Alright, so we could do account sign in. That could be one that we could mess with. We could do my account or log out. No, that's not what I want. Let's do this again. My orders. Alright, so let's go buy something and then see what that looks like. So we'll add this. Still can't go to a link for that, and check out and go to my orders. Alright, so aliasing that as something like my orders could be something we could do, perhaps, with a parameter transform, but I'm not sure that's that interesting. Like, that's just a one-off thing. Let's go check the docs. See what they have as far as any kind of examples. If they've even gotten there yet. Alright. So in here, they are going to do a slugify as well. And they're going to slugify action. What's that doing? Alright, I don't see anything here that's really telling us how this is doing this. Off the top of my head. That's URL generation. I'm too far. Alright, so in here, custom slugify in this route with this action generates that. Is slugify just built in? Execute when creating a link for a route. My test article becomes my artist article. Constraint map. That doesn't tell me anything. Alright, so is that a built-in thing, I wonder? Let's see if we can do this. So we're going to take this code and put it in our configure services and see if that actually does anything. Or if that's something I have to add myself. So we'll come into startup, configure services, and here's MVC. We'll put it here. Slugify. Yeah, that's not a built-in thing. I didn't think so. Alright, so where is that sample? That's going to have to be in the docs samples, right? ASP.NET Core provides conventions for parameter transformers with generated routes. Parameter transform doesn't change the route values. So this URL action get all subscription management becomes subscription management get all. Alright, but where is the slugify thing? That's going to have to be in the docs GitHub repo, I'm guessing. So way up here at the top, they tell us about their sample, maybe? Usually? Back when I wrote this thing, see, in the early days, it had a sample, and we linked to it, and there it is. Alright, so view the routing samples, perfect. Alright, 2.x routing sample, 2.2 updates, great. Guard Rex, where'd you put this? Where's your startup? None of that has to do with what we're looking for. We just updated this a month ago. All he did was that, probably. So where Where's your Slugify parameter transformer? Let's Google it. Hanselman's talking about it too, but he made his own. Reddit's got one. It says, looks like the built-in transformer wasn't mentioned. Alright, so it's built in. Where is it? There's that link I just looked at. Okay. So that guy's saying it's built in. If it's built in, then if I'm on 2.2, which I thought I was, I am, and I'm pulling in 2.2, yep, alright, so why am I not seeing it? If they've got it, it should be out on GitHub. Public class. Here's their discussion of it. A long time ago. There it is. We finished adding this. We created that. Oh, it wants us to create it. Okay. 2.2 preview theory. Custom parameters used to change how parameters are matched and generated. Create one of these and then configure it. Alright, so this is the same one that Hanselman's using, but just copy pasted from here. So okay, fine, we'll have to create it ourselves. We'll do that. Where should we put it? It's not really any of these other things, so let's just add it to the root for now. So we'll go down here, we'll add that there, and that at least should be a thing. But let's pull this to its own file, extract to a new file. Okay, there's our transformer. It doesn't know what that is. Okay, where is that at? Implement, no. Alright guys, now where'd you put that thing? Parameter transformer. Does Scots have that? Or did they get rid of it? Aha! Maybe they renamed it probably before they made it to RTM. So, let's see if this one exists. Boom. All that just to get this thing defined. Does not implement that. Alright, fine. Scott, you've got probably the right one. So let's see what this looks like. Alright. See if we can build.
Yes!
Cool. Alright. So now we want to implement this thing because we have defined our custom guy and configure services right here. We've said that if we have a route constraint of Slugify, it's going to use a Slugify parameter transformer. That's great. So where would be a good place to use that? I don't have very many multi-word things in this that would require slugification, if that's a word. So here's my order history, order index. What if I just rename index to be something like my history? Maybe that could be a thing. My orders currently goes to order order index. I don't like this URL, so if we can make that something like my orders, I think that would be better. Let me think on that. How would I define just that? So that's in the layout. And if you're logged in, it will display that menu, which is a component, maybe? Where is that? Partial, my orders. Alright, there's my orders. And it goes to controller order, action there. We say ASP-route, I think we can. And then we could say, let's look. ASP-route. I'd like it to be something like my-orders, right? And then theoretically, if I go to orders index, this could be something like my orders, I think, maybe. It's probably not quite right, but
yes!
This is gonna still go. Yeah, I'm not sure what route we'll use for that now, but let's play with it. So in here, if I just go to my orders, well, let's verify that I can still just do that. Alright. Invalid, cannot determine href attribute. Alright, that makes sense. So let's go back here. Let's get rid of those. That's ugly. Let's really get rid of those. Alright, now where's this thing going? To the home page. It's probably not ideal. Alright, let's go to /myorders. That's not a thing. Let's go to /order/ that's not a thing. So what exactly does this thing? Controller action. It's probably tacking it onto the end. It's probably like controller action my orders, which is not what I want. I think if I prefix it with a slash, it'll work. So, but I bet if I do this controller action, there it is. Right. Okay. So I need to prefix that with a slash to make it be the route. Build.
Yes!
And then this theoretically will work. And it does. That's cool. Yeah, it's fine. My orders goes there. Really? How'd that work? No. Okay. This just goes to whatever page you're on, it looks like. If I'm already on my orders, it's like, that's cool, stay here. What is it doing? There's some kind of redirect going on there. Show me all. There we go. Why is that going there? href equals nothing. That's why. Okay, so it's just a blank href. Because it can't find a route for that. So if I said in there that it was going to go to capital my orders, it would work fine, right? Of course. course not. It still doesn't work. Still just has a blank href. So need a slash? I really thought that ASP route worked here. Name of the route must be null if action, controller, area, or page is not null. Oh, I didn't call it, it's not a named route. Alright, named routes are a different thing. In order controller, there's a different option to specify here. Name equals, no, this is the name, isn't it? No, this is the template. Alright, so that's not what I want. I want the template to work. What is, how's Scott using this? He's building up this thing, adds it there, I've got that. But he's just using it with a page. And somehow his page is picking that apart and making it, like, how does it know where to grab the slug for that? So if I did that, alright, so maybe I need add the slugify into the template like this. I wonder if that works in here though. I don't think it does. Oops. Alright, this syntax only works in the startup. Take that, put it there. What will that do? Let's find out. Alright, so rebuild.
Yes!
Let's go back to our shop. Orders are still busted. Log out and log back in. I am. Let's see. I think we might get some people coming our way here in a second. Jeff Fritz is asking me if I'm still streaming. So, well, yes I am. Alright. So, currently we have 5 people watching. We'll see if Fritz sends us a bunch of people. I don't have any cool thing that pops up when that happens. Alright. My account. Alright, let's see if we can create a page that has a multi-word action and see if this slugify on the action does the job. So I think my account would be a good one, perhaps. So, right, that goes to /manage/index. That sounds horrible. But I need the action name to be it. So manage my account. How about that? So we go to account controller, instead of /manage/index, no, manage index, this could be manage my account, and then our login partial could link to manage my account. We'll build that and
Yes!
see if we slugify that thing. So reload. Okay. Nope. Alright, so it did not slugify. I'm looking at the bottom left there. It still has it capitalized as my / my account. So let's figure out what's going on there. In Visual Studio, we've given it that and that. That should still actually work, right? No. The view, oh right. Of course the view name doesn't match now. Let's try that just to keep down this path. All good. Oh, and change password would be another one that should slugify. So why, if I've done this right, why is it not slugifying? So in startup, in configure, it's going to use this route, which is probably being ignored most of the time. Okay. Hey, look, there's a whole bunch of people here. Hi everybody! We're fighting with Visual Studio and ASP.NET Core 2.2 to try and turn on some of the router parameter stuff. We're going to slugify some of the routes on this sample app. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can check it out. And look, my chat thing is actually working inside the window. Awesome. Alright, so right now I've got this slugify parameter transformer, and I believe, unless I screwed up and didn't add it correctly, this is being added here. So say add routing, specify that. Now maybe I need to add that to MVC and not just to routing. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. So let me see, we'll verify what Hanselman has an article on this, and he was showing to add that as an MVC convention and not just adding it to routing. The docs showed me this approach, but who can trust the docs when you've got Mr. Hanselman that you could try trusting instead? So we'll get rid of that and try this, and that goes into what? Options. Okay. Hey there, Carrie. All kinds of people here I know. Which mic am I on? I'm hoping I'm on this one. Is that the case? Let me go check my thing here. Yeah, that looks like the mic. Apologies if that's loud. So hopefully you can hear me well enough. Desktop audio. I could probably turn down desktop audio if that's being too loud. We'll turn it down a little bit on the mixer. Alright, and I'm not talking super loud. I could project if that would help, but I don't want to change the audio. Alright, y'all are saying you can hear me okay. That's good. Then I will drive on with this. Alright, so route token convention. There's no idea what that is. Let's do that. Okay. And if you're going to do it that way, we're going to need some curly brackets on here. Now it's relatively happy. Let's build that.
Yes!
Which is good. And here's our page. Okay, constraint reference slugify could not be resolved. Register the constraint type with route options. So do both of those? Alright, well, this is progress. So maybe that needs to happen before that happens, and it still needs to be there. Perhaps. We'll see.
Yes!
Well, that's good. That's progress. Alright, so we're thinking maybe... Ooh, look at that. Success. So now my account goes to my-account. That's cool. This error is not a problem. That's because I just have to log back out and log back in. Do that, and then go there. Voila. Sweet. Alright, so we can ship that. Cool. Is there anything else I need to do with that? So I was messing with the login partial to make that link work. I don't know that I need to keep whatever I did there. So let's go look at that. That can stay. That can go back to the way it was. So this used to be orders index, I think. Order. I think it was that. Let's see. Order, yeah. Alright, so now I think I'm ready to commit this code if it still works. So can I get to my orders? Yes. Account? Yes. Alright, come in here. I can add stuff to the basket. I can check out. Good. And it shows up in my orders. Yay. Alright, nothing's broken, so let's go ahead and commit this. So, create a new branch. Param transforms. And take all this stuff and stage it. And say adding slugify parameter transform. I've got a issue for this, which was number 172. So fixes number 172. Commit that. Push that. Submit that. And come in here and create a new pull request. This pull request thing is slow. Love the pull builder succeeded. Thanks. Yeah, I like that too. It can get annoying sometimes when you're building a lot, but it's not bad. Why is it taking so long to do the pull request? There it goes. Alright, so create pull request. Over here. There's my pull request. And just double check what I'm doing here. Manage controller, let's do index my account. Yeah, I needed that. That was how I'm demonstrating it. Alright, so order controller, commented, oh, I don't need that. That can come out of there. So let's go fix that. So, I could review all this stuff before I make the pull request, but where would the fun in that be? Let's see. That's fine. No, that's not fine. That's still an order controller. So I don't need... Do I need that? No, I do need that. Or I need that. My account is fine. My orders can... Well, it's actually working. It's not slugified, because that's a special route. Interesting. Do I want to change that one too? I could make that order / my orders. Would that be better? Sure, why not? So let's just rename this too for consistency. And we don't need this then. And it's a little bit weird to say order slash my orders, I guess, but we'll at least be able to slugify it. And for that to work, we'll need to go in here and change this to be my orders and build that.
Yes!
And then refresh here and log out and log in and see my orders is broken. Man, why is that broken? My account works. It goes to manage. Oh, I know why, because it's not indexed anymore. Right, so where's my header? Login partial, right there. So that just became my orders. Don't have to rebuild for that change. Just refresh. And that works, and it's slugified. Woo, look at that. Yay. Alright. So that's good. Let's commit that change. Let's see. Fixing. Let's, cleaning up code. And slugifying my orders. Commit. Push. Let's see where else we are on our... Nope, that's not it. Let's go back here. There, we got that now. Let's start over. So, that's my account, that's my orders, that's great. There's our transformer, that looks good. This all, I think this all ended up being necessary. Yeah, okay. That references that, so that's right. I needed that, so that worked. It's just formatting, that's fine. And that's mostly, some of that's formatting, and then this is that and that, so... What is this? Content included by default. I have no idea what that is. Why does my CS Proj have all that junk in it? Let's look at that real quick. This ought to be a pretty simple page, but it has all this. What does that do? I've been doing stuff with ASP.NET for a while. ASP.NET Core. I don't know what this does. Apparently it's a Drupal thing. That makes sense. Anybody? Anybody know? Y'all have this junk in your files? Content included by default. ASP.NET Core. That's not really a thing. Alright, if I get rid of this, is it going to break everything? Up to date check input. I don't know what that does either. Maybe it's related. Ah, okay. This apparently tells Visual Studio to do something. I really don't think I need all that stuff. But I don't think I'm going to mess with it right now. So we're going to let this PR pass, and we'll deal with cleaning up the project file perhaps as a different bug, because that's its own issue. So let's go back here, and let's take our own PR. And we don't need that branch anymore. Let's add an issue though for cleanup web.cs approach and figure out why it has so many files added using things like this, and whatever the other one was. This. Alright. Success. Here's Carrie saying, what does content included by default do? Oh, you're repeating my question. Thanks. Alright. Yeah, and I still don't know. Cool, so let's look at the next issue that we want to work on. And that is going to be a link generation feature, perhaps? Let's see if we can do that. So that's, we get rid of that, we get rid of that, we get rid of that, and that, and that. Let's see if Hanselman wrote anything about this. So ASP.NET Core 2.2 link generation, generator. Let's see what Sean Wildermuth has to say about this. Okay. You can take in a link generator as a service for generating links. And then we can say, give me this path for a get for some moniker. Okay, so if I need that somewhere, I would do something with it. Not sure what I would use that for, but let's think about that. Where's a good place that we could use this? Let's see. This is the same one we were looking at before. I don't think he had anything about link generator in here. So one of his comments was, alright. Add an example. This is in the docs using link generator. Back to Hanselman. Alright, here's this. New service link generator signals you can call outside the context of an HTTP call. Without an HTTP context, I'm going to generate a URL string. This could be useful for generating URLs outside of Razor and some middleware. Alright. Wonder if that will work with... I wonder if that's... Hey, I wonder if that's just registered. Let's go back to Wildermuth's link generator. Sean Wildermuth. Is it there? Schwan. There it is. Alright, he's showing how to bring that in to, for instance, a controller. I think I have a good idea of how to use this now, but I don't know where I would want to use it in this sample. So all my links are typically going to be on Razor pages. Let's close all but this. And I have some middleware here that lists all registered services. Is there some reason I would want to have a link on this as well? Let me think about that. That might be a place for it. So in here, I go to all services. That works. Interestingly, that's not slugified. Maybe if I'd made it with a capital, I wonder if it would have been. Let's try that. See how far the slugify thing goes. All services.
Yes!
Okay. Does that work? No. Okay. But does that work? Yes. Okay, so that's not working. That's okay. We're gonna assume this is out of that pipeline. Alright, but if I want to create a link generator in here, first I could make this its own piece of middleware. Right now it's actually just being called as a method here. And the thing that's bad about that is if I want to give it the required service, which is that link generator, I have to pass it in somewhere like here. So, and then I'd have to pass it again to here, which would get annoying. But Since I don't want to fully refactor that out into separate middleware as part of this just yet, let's try and just get the link generator in here and see if we can display a link. So this is literally just called link generator. Alright, great. So link generator, link generator, and we're going to pass that to you, and we're going to take that down here, here, and we're going to say var homepage link equals link generator, and let's go steal some code from over here. Get path var link equals that. Alright. Generator dot get path by action. What do you take? Thought I didn't need an HTTP context. String action is index, and string controller is catalog, and I think that's all I need, right? I don't need any of this moniker stuff. And then let's do this. Let's do sp.append href equals that. Append homepage link. Alright, let's see what that does. So, probably it'll blow up in some fabulous fashion.
Yes!
We need to get our Dallas to title this stream and add some... I've done that. It never saves it. I've given it tags like several times, and I give it a title. I'm just illiterate at Twitch, apparently, is the problem. Alright, so now... over here, we go here, we're going to reload this. And there should be a return to site link. Wow, that worked. Alright, let's see if we could add something more interesting than that, like maybe the login page. So log out, login is account sign in. Let's try that. So let's do login link is account sign in. That's not slugified. And we'll put that here. And this is going to be the login link. And this is going to be login to site.
Yes!
So Brendan, you can like teach me how to add tags and title it and have it actually save sometime. I have not managed to get that to work. Alright, so then we go back to here, go to all services, and login site. That one didn't work. That one's going to itself. Alright, so what did we do wrong there? Or why is this link generator not working? Do I need to use the slugified one for it to work? Because I would think that it would do that for me, right? All I'm giving it is account and sign in. Let's verify that there is such a thing as account and sign in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So obviously it's a bug in Microsoft's code and not mine. Let's see. So login link, link generator, get path by action. Of course it is a bug in my code, shockingly, because account is the controller, and of course the controller should go second. That makes sense. You never want to think of the class and then action. You always want to think of the action first. That makes no sense to me, but okay.
Yes!
What? I found the safest way to save title tags is just to use your Twitch dashboard. That's what I've done. Yeah, I have it open so I can set my title and tags after going live. Why the heck would you have to set it after going live? I thought it was the title for, like, your whole stream. You have to do it every time? That's probably my problem. I'll add that to my to-do list, my checklist. Alright. Dashboard for... I'll get to that later. Alright, let's refresh this. I think it's going to work now. Login to site, account, sign in, and look, it's slugified. Sweet. Alright, so that all worked. So let's go create a new thing for this. Create a branch. Dallas, link generator, and it's literally all just one file. Didn't start up. Alright. Stage everything. Added links to all services using link generator. Commit the changes. Push that. Submit that. Go there. Start pull request. We are fixing now number 173. Add link generator to all services middleware. Fixes number 173. Create. Alright, 2 issues down, almost. Let's finish looking at this. Yeah, it's not good. I screwed something up. Oh, I know what it is. Alright. I branched off of the wrong thing. Wonder if I can fix this locally. Probably not as easily. That's all there. So really the only conflict I have is that I'm including routing. So I want to use this and not this. Mark is resolved. Get the merge. Files changed. There, that's it. Alright, that's great. And do that. Delete the branch. And then make sure I actually switch to that branch here. Pull. And we're good. Yes to all. Alright. Alright, so next issue. Is now a good time for me to mess with my tags or whatever? Where's that? I've got the Twitch dashboard here. I think. How do I get to that? There. Dashboard. And stream title tags. Programming, software development, okay. Title, Ardalis, updating eShopOnWeb to use 2.2 features. Update information. Does that work? Let's see. Hey, look at that, there's a title now. I don't see where the tags are, but... Boom. Alright. Let's look at our issue list. And I'm going to add support for health checks. That's my next to-do item. So, using the power of Google, we're going to go grab this from the docs. It's interesting that Elma is talking about this. Might have to look at that in a minute. Let's go look at the docs. The docs say, hey, there's some sample code, and we're going to use this. Before heading health checks, decide on which monitoring system to use. Sample provides startup code to demonstrate health checks for several scenarios. The database probe scenario. I don't really have a database, I'm just using in-memory. DB context probe. Okay. Alright, so there's SQL Server and EF Core things that probably don't relate to what I'm doing. Basic health configuration reports, apps availability is sufficient. Health check middleware can be added, so let's start with this. And let's make a new branch called health checks. Make sure we're on master this time. Good. Alright. And come in here. Go to startup. And that was both services and middleware. Alright, so here, guess we'll just put it there. I'm not sure the sequence matters on this one. Probably doesn't. And then in configure, I guess we'll put it right here. Oh, they're putting it way at the top. I guess we'll put it way at the top like there. Alright. Because reading the docs is boring, let's go and see what this thing does without doing anything else. So we'll just come here and go to, my short-term memory is crap, go to /health. Hey, it's healthy. Why is it healthy? What can I do to make it not healthy? If I shut it down, I'm pretty sure this site won't work. What if the home page had a giant error in it? Would it still be healthy? Let's go to catalog controller, index, throw a new exception. How healthy am I now?
Yes!
Oh, you're still healthy. Alright, so it doesn't detect that the home page is toast, which it kinda is. Alright. We'll save that for later, perhaps. To read some more about what these health checks let me do. Basic health probe. Register the health checks. Respond to a URL endpoint. By default, no health checks are registered to test any particular dependency. The app is considered healthy if it's capable of responding to the URL. Okay, great. That's what we've seen. Register health checks. In there, add the middleware, do the thing. Okay, great. To run the basic configuration scenario, do that. Okay, do that, do that. Create health checks. We need to have an iHealth check interface. Check health async method returns this and indicates that the result is written as a plain text response. Alright, so I create a health check. I wonder if they have a health check for checking a page. That would be cool. Alright, you can put health checks on a different port, that could be handy to know. By default, check middleware runs all registered health checks. You can do that, alright. So that's the output. Okay, I don't really care about that. Database probe, we're going to skip that. Readiness and liveness. In some hosting scenarios, you might be readiness versus liveness. I don't think I need to get into that. But you know what would be cool, documentation? What would be cool would be if you had an example of a health check that hit a page and verified that a string was present. I think that would be something people would use. Metric-based probe, memory health check. The app uses more than a certain threshold of memory. Yeah, that seems a little more out there than what I really need. Filter by port. How long is this? We're almost done. Distribute a library. No. No, you're not going to do that for me, huh? Alright, so it's what? Time to create an HTTP client to do it myself? That's probably it. Unless someone else has one. Okay. What interval do these health checks run on anyway, I wonder? Alright. Publish results. Well, that's cool. You can add Elma as a publisher. Interesting. It makes sense that they would show us that since I'm on Elma's blog. Okay, so I think I want to do an ASP.NET Core health check page is rendering. And somebody's figured this out already, I'm gonna guess. Nope. Alright, well maybe there's a good reason not to do this. But I'm going to drive on and do it anyway. So we're going to start with the docs and steal a health check implementation here. It's a beautifully named example health check. We'll go back here and this is probably warrants its own folder, I think. So we're going to add a new folder for health checks. Add a class in here. And this will be what? Homepage health check. And then we want to put that in there and get that there. Get rid of those there. I don't know that I need any DI, but we'll think about that. Okay. Execute health check logic. Jump sustaining health check value to true. Okay. So I just want to create a web client that talks to my own site, but I don't know how to get my own site's path, do I? An HTTP client that will talk to myself. See, ASP.NET Core, HTTP client, get page on current site. Somebody's done this before. Client requests like a browser, initiating, creating REST client. That's really old. Let's try that. That'll do. Now I just need the URL, but for now I could just hard code it to get this to work. So we'll do that and get async. I really don't like this solution, but try it for now. Just do that and see what we get. So that, make that var, use that. There's our contents. Alright, now if page contents dot contains some value, let's see, I got rid of that error, right? Did I rebuild? I did. So if it's got this .NET Blackbot sweatshirt value, then we're going to say it's good. Let's see. I guess we just do this. That's all I need. Otherwise, do the other. Right? Task that from result. Let's see if this works. I have to add this thing.
Yes.
And I probably want to rename this guy. Homepage health check. For now, I don't need that, so let's just get rid of it.
Yes.
And then here, somewhere, we had to add our custom health check. Here. Why is that a string? That's weird. Alright, well, we'll look at that in a minute. Services, and add that. Add health checks, right. Add check. Homepage health check. Did I put that in its own namespace? I did. So it's gonna need that namespace. And I still don't know why they're doing this weird underscore thing, but we'll go with it. Apparently that's what's done.
Yes.
Alright, so now, if I go to /health, ooh, now it's unhealthy. Why is it unhealthy? We got a different result, that's good, but I thought the page was still working. Let's just debug this. I know this is core 1, but answer may be the same, says Carrie. How to get current URL. Alright, I'll check that in a sec. Yes, no, my Visual Studio is a little bit wonky because I updated it and then it wanted to restart my computer and I told it no, so I think that might be what the issue with that is. But hopefully it'll still let me debug. Alright, the trick is, I don't know how to make the health check work. Does it do the health check when I call /health, or is it doing it all the time? When I call that, alright. Page.contents says it does not. So if it contains that, okay, view page source, which it's going to make another request to do. Come on, you should already have the source. Let's kill that. I just have to find some better page contents apparently. Let's see, start it up. There we go. Click, view page source. Sweatshirt isn't even, if I can spell it right. There it is. Done it, Blackbot. Oh, it's not all caps, is it? That's just a CSS thing. Right. That's the problem. You know what? If it's not all caps for real, then when I copied it, it should have ignored the CSS and not made it caps here. try this now.
Yes!
Alright. Let's just get rid of... let's keep that. Alright, look at that. It's healthy. It's healthy. Let's come back to catalog controller. Save that. Build that. Go back here.
Yes!
This doesn't do any kind of automatic update or signal R or anything cool like that, because it hasn't updated, even though that's blowing up. This is still showing the last request until I do that. That's cool. At least triggers it. It'd be cooler if it were updated automatically. Alright, so Carrie sent me this link over here. It says you can use request.getDisplayURL. Is that what we're thinking? Okay. So in my homepage health check, how would I get to request? Do I need an HP context in here? But this doesn't live in a, well, maybe I can still get to it. Let's see if I ask for it, if it'll give it to me. Generate it. Alright, that'll work. Context. There. Okay, so we're thinking context.request. Alright, so string my URL equals http context.request.get display URL. It's not looking good. Is that the thing? Ooh, it's an extension. And this just becomes what? My URL? Sure. Alright, so now we'll test whether dependency injection actually works. And
yes!
let's see, we managed to successfully debug this before, so let's try that again. Thank you, Carrie. And we're still blowing up on the home page, that's fine. Health. This page is not working. Well, I'm debugging, you could tell me why. Exception occurred. Exception details. Unable to resolve type for HP context while attempting to activate this. Really? I would have thought HP context was registered in the services. ASP.NET Core register service HP context. Do I have to use the HP context accessor thing? Right? Or what's it called? Custom, it's add HP context accessor, right? And then I can use that to get to that. I think that's what I need. So let's see. We'll take this. Maybe request.host. I could try request.host before we go down this path. I can't get to the HP context period without doing that accessor thing. So I think once I get the accessor, I'll be good. Alright, so there we're adding that here. Which I need to stop debugging. Add that there. Okay. And then I want to go here and I want to request, I think it's an HTTP context accessor. Nope. What was it? I don't know where the window is that I was using. There we go. Custom components. What is that? I wonder where that is. Okay, that's fine. Accessor. Boom, 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 and boom. And I probably could have done a rename on it, but now we're done. And this one also. Dot HTTP context. Dot the stuff. Let's try that.
Yes!
Okay, so now we have a health check, and we're checking the current display URL. We'll try debugging it one more time just to make sure it's got the right thing. I think it's gonna work, Carrie. Don't worry. Right, that's still expected. Now what's it telling us? Stop going up there. I'll go down here. Parameter output. I have no idea why it keeps jumping up there. Oh, you know what? It's probably polling. Okay, it's probably continuing to make requests. So, okay. I just want to know what the bug is. Tell me the exception. The thing that stinks is that if your health check fails because it's got a bug in it, you don't actually get to see the developer exception page because it's at a lower point in the startup in the middleware. But I can fix that, so let's do this. Having that in there twice is probably not great, so we'll do that. And then we'll just not debug and see what the actual error is.
Yes!
So we'll go back here. Here, refresh that, and it's going to tell us nothing. Yeah, I should start the site, not just build it. There we go. Now we're going to go to /health. It's not working. Do. What is it doing? Anybody? Now y'all have Baby Shark in your head if you've heard that song. Sorry. That's not doing it for us, clearly. And it won't let me debug now, for some reason.
Yes!
Take in HTTP context accessor, which I added in here. So I should be able to get to it. From there I can get to the context, from there I can get the display URL. So I can even go up one. Let's try debugging again and see if magically it'll work. Alright, so this page is going to blow up. It does. And health has a breakpoint set. Hey, we hit it this time. Alright, cool. So what's the problem? What is my URL? Oh, it's hitting itself. Ooh, that's gonna be, yeah, that's not good. You want to strip off the last bit of that. Or we'll just cheat and do this. How about that? Alright, so it was infinite looping, that was the problem. That's why it was giving us weird behavior. So, it makes sense now. You say try the host thing. We could try the host thing. My hack works though, I think. Let's find out. Health. Unhealthy. That's correct. And it returned. Alright, so what did we do if we want to change that to the host thing? As request dot. So put that there. And this will be dot host. See, I think I have to construct the thing because the host is literally just the host. So I have to be like, give me the HTTP part of the URL. Give me all the bits. Host. Is there a .toString? Right, because there's the host, there's the port, there's all the things. Let's try that. Try the host thing. It does. Alright. Alright. We'll trust Carrie. She knows what she's talking about. And
yes.
Come back here. Do the same thing. I don't really know what it's hitting because I didn't breakpoint it. So let's do that just for good measure. Trust but verify. Alright, go to /health and as expected, woohoo. But yeah, it doesn't have the HTTP, so that's actually working? I guess it just infers all that stuff. But it does at least have the port, so that part's good. So maybe I need to do... I'd feel better if that actually had the HTTP part in it, even though it seems like it's working. Anyone? Because that it does was in response to your hack. Alright. If we just do at hp:// that. Will that work? It's not at though, it's $. That should do it. Stop. Until somebody does it in HTTPS, and then it won't work. Actually, it is HTTPS. Ha ha ha. Alright, maybe it's better not to have it and it'll infer the right one. You know what? It's working. I'm just gonna go with it. There it is. There's the URL. Obviously, it's getting the right page contents. We're gonna call that good to go. Delete that, clean up some stuff. And
yes,
we now have health checks. So we can come back out here, get rid of some things. At some point, I'm going to want to add health checks for APIs, I think. But for now, we're going to say this is good enough. So 174. Right. So what did we change? We changed catalog controller. That should probably not go in. This is not a good thing to leave in there. Alright.
yes,
We changed that. Homepage health check we added. That looks good. And startup CS. That looks good. Request.scheme will give you the protocol if you want to add it back in and be fancy. But then I gotta append those things together. And would I just use a string append or would I use a path.combine? What do you recommend? I think since it's working without the scheme, I'm going to leave it without the scheme. And we'll just ship it. So, stage all the things. Added a health check. Checks home page. Commit. Push. Origin. Start a pull request. I've already forgotten what issue number it was. It was 174. Checks homepage, fixes issue number 174. Create the pull request. Go look at the pull request. Here it is. There's the files. Homepage health check. This actually works. And there we go. Just regular interpolation, okay. Hey Carrie, what's your GitHub? Are you CPay yet? Coding Bandit. Comment and squash and merge. Now you're famous. You're in the PR. Alright, delete the branch. Remember to get latest locally. We're making good time here. So you go back to master. Pull. What do we got left? Add support for... I literally just did that. Why is it still on the list? Reference. Yeah, it fixed it. It should be closed. Why didn't that automatically close it? That's weird. Alright. 2 left. Add a status page showing system health. So theoretically, if I had a bunch of health checks, like I was going to add that API health check, then I could have a status page for that, like a /status or something. How to show several health checks in ASP.NET Core 2.2. Let's try. Hanselman's got a thing on this. Ooh, that's pretty. Wanted to make health endpoint monitoring more formal. Let's test mobile REST. Endpoint monitoring. Okay. So database up. Add health checks. Use health checks. Did all that. You can add a content check. Yada yada yada. You want your health checks. Okay. Dump it out as JSON. Alright, so this is all interesting and all. I'm not sure if I have multiple things to hit yet. Maybe when I add a database, that'll do it. And it does support a database, so maybe I can just add a database check and have it run with the database by default. If I had a database, see, that's what I'm thinking. If I had a database, I could check that as well. But I could do that. Now, how do I display it? I suppose I don't really need to make it pretty yet. I could just display it like he's doing with some kind of list of JSON. This picture up here made me think, wow, that's cool, but that's not really his thing. Alright, so I think the main goal of this A, it's already done basically, and B, it needs just a few more health checks. So this would be add an API health check, add a database health check, have the health checks page display JSON of all the values. Alright, so let's clarify that. Alright, so let's see. I've got an API on this thing. Let's run it again. I'm gonna get latest. There, and we can close this. API, catalog controller API. So what is that? Slash API slash catalog. Alright, so refresh this. Run the site. Yes.
Yes!
Refresh the page. There it is. API whack catalog. No. API catalog action. Do I not have an index? No, I have a list. Okay, fine. Catalog list. Boom. Alright. You know what's cool about this is I could use this exact same thing for... Alright, so let's think about... We want to do a status page. So let's create a branch before I go any farther. Make sure I'm on master, create a branch, Dallas, status page, is my branch name. Perfect. Now under health checks, I have a homepage health check. I think I can make a copy of that and do an API health check. Alright, and then in here, this just becomes API, and then that URL needs to be combined to produce this URL. Oh, you know what would be cool? If there were some way to generate links inside of ASP.NET Core, wouldn't that be cool? If there were like a link generator thing that we were totally already just talking about earlier in the stream, and we could take that and assign it to something like that and then break all our code. Alright, where are you? There you go. Okay. Because I really want to get the link for that API, so string API link equals link generator dot get path by action of string list. Why does it start with action and then controller? That's just weird. Controller is catalog. I got two of those though. I got an API one and I got a regular one. I wonder if that's gonna find it. Path base, fragment string, link options. I might have to give it the fully qualified name of this guy, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what it does. There is no list method on this one, so it might not like that if it can't find the right one. Let's see what you did with that. Microsoft. Oh, you don't like that. Alright, API link needs to be tacked onto this. This would be path.combine that and that. Where's path.combine, you ask? System.io? Maybe? That's hopefully not going to create a backslash, but we'll find out. So, let's see what that does. I'm not actually using it yet.
Yes!
Hang on now. Too excited with the start here. Shut that down. Stop that. Alright, in startup, we need to add the other check. And that'll be the API health check. I'm still not sure what these things are. What are these? Get rid of that. Just the name, okay. Is health check with a specified name. Alright. Is it even required? I guess it's required. We could even give it tags. That's interesting. Alright.
Yes!
If we go back to our site and refresh it. Seems to not be happy because it's not running. There we go. Now it is unhealthy. Why are you unhealthy? Because this does not have the product title in it, does it? I thought it would. There's this. There's the .NET Blue sweatshirt. Where's the black and white? Oh, there it is, right there. .NET Bot Black sweatshirt. So it's in there. I thought that would just work. So clearly, we've screwed something up. The path.combine is probably using a backslash, like I thought it might be. Let's go. Nobody's telling me what to do to fix this yet. So it's up to me. I could just add a slash, but that's just like too easy. Boom. There's that. What's our URL look like? So that was localhost 44315, which got two-stringed. API catalog list. Producing nothing but API catalog list? Really? You killed the whole first part of that. How is that a path.combine? That's not helpful. Alright. Fine. We'll do it the ugly way.
Yes!
We're adding another health check, this time on the API. The API happens to have the same string in it as the home page because it's listing out all the items. So I'm trying to get the URL right for that, which that ought to be. And why are you unhealthy? That should be boom, boom. And you fail. What? Localhost : API catalog list. Yeah, it's not even hitting it. That's not what I would expect. Why am I hitting that? Okay. This works fine. There we go there. Localhost, API catalog list, that should be right. Step. Why is it dying? API, catalog, list, works fine. Homepage, works fine. Has the text in it. Health, creates my URL correctly. API, link my URL. That's the one I'm using. My client is going to get async on that. Is it because I'm debugging that it's a problem? No, because it failed when I wasn't debugging too. And it just returns immediately there. What's our exception? It's a scheme issue, so it does want the scheme. Why is it a scheme issue now? Maybe it does need the scheme, thanks. Why is it a scheme issue now when it wasn't a scheme issue before? Is it because it can only get a root domain without a scheme? Maybe? Alright, let's build a URL. Let's get a link to the context because that'll save us some trouble. Var context equals HTTP context accessor dot HTTP context. In fact, let's just get the request. Dot request. Save us some typing. That's our link. So our URL should just be request, and it should be request.scheme plus request.host plus our link. Try that.
Yes!
Do I need the // I'll bet I need the // don't I? If I were smart, I'd write some unit tests for this, but you know, that was weird. There we go. I didn't make any edits. What are you talking about? When I was typing, it switched focus on me somehow and added that right there. So I typed HEA and it grabbed focus from me. Alright. So let's try this again. Okay, it's not automatically grabbing focus, so let's try this a little slower now. I don't think, I didn't hit Alt-Tab or anything. Alright. HTTPS without slashes, of course it needs the slashes, fine. Why do you make this so difficult, Microsoft? I shouldn't have to manually build this whole entire URL from scratch just to build a URL. Alright.
Yes!
Have you heard it when it fails? Alright, this should work.
Yes!
Oh, look. Now it decided to put it on a different monitor. Alright, / health. Bam. There's my URL. That looks right. Continue. Still unhealthy, though. Why are you unhealthy? Let's look at this. Boom. Boom. You're still failing. Why are you still failing? Exception thrown. Invalid request was provided. Request must either be an absolute URI or base address must be set. How is that not an absolute URI? Seriously, what are you talking about? Right. That is an absolute URI. Oh, dang it. You know what it needs? Anybody tell me? No? Colon. Colon. The colon. Colon's giving me crap.
Yes!
Alright. Boom, you're still unhealthy, and you didn't break. I thought I did debug. Alright, last chance. HTTPS :// localhost : 44315 // Alright, that's gonna be right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, and it's still unhealthy. Why are you saying it's unhealthy? You're there, you're there, you're there. You're in there. You're healthy. Right? You're unhealthy. You're not unhealthy, I'm telling you. Homepage health check. Breakpoint. Refresh. This one. API health check. I don't know why you're doing that. You're healthy. Did it hit the homepage one? Never hit this one. Alright, when I have more than one health check, do I need to do something special to show them both? I didn't think so, but maybe. Alright, use health checks. Response writer. Let's just steal this code and see what this does. See if that does anything for me. So in startup, we'll try Mr. Hanselman's approach. And we're doing that already. Add that. That's not quite right. Comma. Alright. There's a lot of junk I'm going to pull in for this. But there's nothing here that was saying I had to do multiple things. Get name. Alright. Let's see what this generates for us.
Yes!
Ooh, look at that. Homepage health is very unhealthy. API health is healthy. Unhealthy. Alright. How do I get it to check homepage health? Because it should be fine. Let's go look back at our health checks. Let's do this. Take this code and put it on the home page. Yeah, except I don't need the link. And it's really just that. And then I don't need that. Rebuild that.
Yes!
Let's see what that does. Ooh, look at that. So somewhere along the line, it just decided it didn't like not having the scheme on there. It was working without the scheme before, and now we had to add the scheme in now. Now it works. Alright, so with that, we now have health checks on both the home page and the API page. Let's go back to our list of to-do items, which I've lost somewhere along the way. There we go. So we did that. Let's do a database health check. So if I run this thing in production, it'll actually talk to a local database. So let's verify that's working. We'll say IS Express goes against production. We'll verify in startup that configure production services is, where are you? There. SQL Server, talking to catalog connection, and that, I believe, it's in here, and it's there. Okay, so maybe that's all set up in this machine, I don't remember. But if it is, then that should be talking to my SQL Server database. And if that's talking to my SQL Server database, that means that I could do something like this, which is basically just pulled straight from the docs. I can go in here into startup, go to my health checks, and is that where I want it? Services, here, and add another health check there. Dot add SQL Server. Connection. SQL. Actually, I have two SQL Server connections I could test. Select one. That's interesting. Alright. Connection strings. Where's my app settings? There. Catalog and identity. Let's do both of those just for good measure. So, connection strings, catalog, add SQL Server, no. Yeah, Carrie, I agree, the base URL would be a nice extension method. Alright. iHealth does not contain a definition for add SQL Server. Services.add health checks. Let's verify what we're doing here. .add SQL Server. I don't want to do that. Still don't want to do that. You're an extension method somewhere. Where would you be? Add check. Health checks builder. Add SQL Server. That, do I? Apparently I do want that. So there's this beat pulse thing. Sure. What the heck? Let's try it. AspectCore.healthchecks.SQL Server. So come up here and manage NuGet packages. AspectCore.healthchecks. guess that's what I want. This is an open source project from Microsoft to learn. Yes, it is. Hi, Chandu. So what am I doing to this project? I am updating it to use some more 2.2 features. I'm a Microsoft MVP and I am doing some work on this on their behalf, not as an employee, but as a contractor. And since it's all open source, so I thought I would share what I'm doing. But I do have to wrap this up in about 5 minutes, so I'm hoping that we can get this bit working and then be done with the stream for today. Introduce local. No, I don't want that either. Why am I not getting the namespace now that I've added that thing? Dependencies, NuGet, MVC health check SQL Server, it's there. So with that in place, let's just try manually adding the namespace. Not that I don't have enough namespaces here. Using ASP.NET Core. No, alright. You're saying these people are called BeatPulse? Alright, maybe it's BeatPulse. No. I really don't know why this part's eluding me. Yep, I Google constantly because it's better than just using my memory. Let's see. Why is this not working? This is there, it's installed, it's all good to go. I'm not 100% certain that this is the right one, but it's the only one that came up for this. To be fair, this is a brand new feature that very few people have used at this point. This calls BeatPulse's add SQL Server. DB Health setup. There's connections. Okay. Right. BeatPulse is not supported. Who the heck is BeatPulse? That's Zabaril. Alright. Well, let's just go look at their code. Diagnostics health checks. That's not the SQL Server one, though. Is it? It's health checks for SQL Server. Bills passing. ASP.NET Core diagnostics health checks. That's what I installed, isn't it? ASP.NET Core health check SQL Server, yeah. So once the package is installed, you can do this by adding that. Great, but it's not finding it. So what is the namespace or whatever that I need? Yeah, it's a third-party thing. Katrina, I think that's your name. And so it's mentioned in the docs, but they call out that it's not their thing. So that's my root of my challenge here, is I'm trying to track that down. BeatPulse is not maintained or supported by Microsoft. So I may just punt on the database part of this for now. Come back to that later. Especially since it's now 2 o'clock and I've got to wrap this up. So I'm going to tidy up my code, drop this out of it for now. We made some good progress on some of these issues. We've got an API health check. I'll go ahead and commit that, but I'll roll back the SQL Server stuff for now. And keep an eye on this project. It's getting updated to 2.2 obviously as we speak, and the book will get updated that goes with it as well. So there's, for those of you that haven't seen this project before, there's a PDF ebook here that's free that you can check out, either download it or go out here and find it in the docs. And it's getting updated to 2.2 now as well. It should be done by the end of January. Alright, Chandy, one more question. Quick. You could have asked your question in the time it took to say that you had one more question. So which one do you recommend to use, EF or ADO.NET? For core? Core, I'd use EF Core. For regular .NET, I'd probably use EF, but it really depends. If you're trying to like load entities, make changes to them, track those changes, and then save those changes without you having to know SQL or deal with SQL at all, then EF is great. If you have simpler needs, or if you need something that uses custom SQL, then you might use ADO.NET. But people say EF is slow. Well, measure it and see if it's fast enough. Slow is not the only thing. Like fast or slow is not the only consideration, right? People say .NET is slow compared to C++, but here we are, right? .NET's a lot more productive. So don't just worry about speed. Worry about all the other factors. How productive are you with it? How maintainable is it? As long as it's fast enough for your application, which most of the time it's going to be, then don't prematurely optimize. At least that's my opinion. If it turns out it's not fast enough, then you can find ways to make it faster. You can cache, so you're not even talking to the database at all, which is the best way to get around that speed. Or you can drop down to things like Dapper, which is lighter weight micro ORM that I recommend and use quite a bit. Or you can use ADO.NET, but ADO.NET is like super low-level plumbing code that's easy to get wrong and difficult to maintain. So I would recommend you use some kind of wrapper around ADO.NET. And Dapper's a good one. Alright, I do have to go, so thank you everybody. I'll catch you next time, hopefully a week from today, from 12 to 2 again. See ya.